Hi, this is Ann Hack from Green Talk, and I want to talk about beans. We talked about a little bit before on a previous video on the best way to shuck them, and using a big container, a deep container like this, really helps because they don't fly all over the place. But what I really wanted to tell you is what I've learned, that simply, taking them off the stalk and shelling them right away just doesn't really work very well, because I find that the beans tend to be a little soggy. So I end up putting a lot of the beans aside, because if you can pinch your fingernail in them, they're not dry and they're going to mold. So I'll give you an example. Over here is a lot of the beans that I put to the side. See how they have a lot of tails coming out of them, because they started to sprout because we've had a lot of rain, and these are not dry, so I'm putting them aside to dry. So if you see anything like this when you shuck your beans, and like I said, you can put your fingernail through it, put it aside and let it dry. It may take a while, a couple weeks, a week. Just let it dry. It may never dry, so you may not be able to store it. You may have to use it right away. So let's go back to the beans. So this is a combination of white and black beans. This is a perfect bean to harvest. See how it's not black or anything? These over here that are black are because they've been in the rain, they've gotten some mold. They're fine to harvest, but just, don't be afraid of them. You got to get out there every day and pick your beans, because otherwise they will look like this, or sometimes they open up. Sometimes they get like a really dark, like that. They're fine, but you can end up having bean loss. So what I would do is, when you do shuck your beans, come in, spread them out on a towel or wherever you can. Let them dry a little bit, maybe a day or two before you actually harvest them, because I found that they tend to be moist a little bit, and they don't sound like this. Can you hear this? Like a real papery sound, like almost like you're stepping on leaves. That's what you want. You also don't want, am I doing this? See this? This one's actually hard, which is fine, but others aren't. So this is Anna Hackman for Green Talk, talking about how to properly harvest your beans once you have them off your stalk. And love to know in the comments what you do and what you found hasn't worked and worked. And like always, like my video, comment, and share around the internet, and sign up for my free newsletter. Thank you so much for watching.